The Needham Center for Arbitration offers litigants and their attorneys a private courtroom to resolve their litigated disputes in a private setting as opposed to a public courtroom.
It's really a great option for people who don't want their matter to linger. There's still tremendous backlogs in the courts, and so a lot of people just want an answer, regardless of what the answer is. And they can agree to hire a neutral third party to resolve that dispute for them, instead of sitting around and waiting months and months for a court to hear their matter.
What makes the Arbitration Center unique is we have an actual courtroom here that replicates what would otherwise go on in the public courtroom setting.
It is very similar to the experience of being actually in a courthouse.
The center is located in Needham, very conveniently right off the highway, very accessible to many areas.
We have a witness stand, we have a judge's bench, we have counsel table, we have benches in the back. So it is very similar to the actual experience.
There are TVs present to cast exhibits, to cast remote witnesses in the event that any witnesses are testifying virtually. And essentially anything that the parties and their attorneys need, we have.
But they have this sort of ability to create their own rules, if you will. They can decide what they want in terms of guidelines and when their discovery is going to be and when they're going to get exhibit books together and what are going to be the deadlines for a decision to be issued.
While an arbitration can be held in a conference room, there is some element of decorum to be able to hold an arbitration in an actual courtroom to replicate what would otherwise go on in the public courtroom setting. And I think that's what sets the Needham Center for Arbitration apart. There's more buy-in to the process when you're replicating basically exactly what goes on in the public setting. You have a private judge, you have witnesses, you have exhibits. Everyone's on board and invested in the process. And the benefit is you get a quicker, more efficient resolution to your case.
Sort of the takeaway is it really could mimic being in court without actually having to go to one of the courthouses.
Most states have commercial arbitration statutes, and there's a long history of matters being arbitrated in the employment context, the construction context, the labor context. Now, arbitration is being extended to apply to other areas of the law, including family law matters, and there are varied uses of the courtroom, including for arbitration disputes, including to prep witnesses to testify in a public courtroom setting. So it's not just limited to arbitration. The courtroom can be utilized for many purposes. The setting here is intimate and private, and most importantly for the parties, confidential. We built this courtroom out in order to offer people an alternative, which is so clearly needed.